say I'm against foreigners, I'm against, how do you call it, like, people that are not the same as us, I just smiled. I told them, when the Indonesian, they have problem, then they think they cannot go to the institution to talk about their problems, or when the expat or the tourists or the foreigners, when they have problem with the locals or with their own, they come to our home. And why is that? Because they know I will listen. Because they know I'm all about being fair. Because they know my life principle is justice for all. You can be Indonesian, you can be Balinese, you can be foreigners, you can be, you can come from any part of the world. As long as you love the island, you are fully, truly love the island, and then you are willing to giving it forward, and you are willing to live in happily and in harmony with Balinese people. I will do anything it takes to protect you. And my level of relationship, it goes up to the president. I have that kind of communication that I will actually able to talk to the minister, to the governor, to the president of the Indonesian Republic, and to let him know. This is Bali. Bali is this size, 140 kilometers from the north to the south, maybe 160 from east to west. We have nothing else left. So we are not trying to kick out everyone from this island, but we try our best to make Bali the safe home, the comfortable home for everyone. Like for example, like one thing that we fight for last time was the visa for the retirement, for the retired. We had a lady who sent me an email. She was representing, she told me she represented a few thousands of retired expats in Bali, and she was worried about the changing in retirement visa that turns into second home visa. And we followed that up. We had a meeting, we had a few meetings with the official, with the higher rank immigration people, and I told them, I have few thousands of very nice, lovely people who live in Bali, who plan to make Bali as their home. I don't want them to go away to Phuket, I don't want them to go away to Pattaya, I don't want certainly them to leave the island. So you do anything you can to fix that law, because otherwise I'll be the first person standing on the street, and I will make petition, I will make sure everybody will sign. So it is all about fairness, and it is all coming, how do you call it, like Ibu Janet says, now it's getting, how do you call it, like we see the problems, especially for the people who are on social media. We see the problems, they are getting more and more, how do you call it, more open about the information. Like actually some people actually just come to Bali with, I don't know what kind of visa they're having, and in a relaxing way selling their business, promoting what they do, and then renting houses, and even like trying to sell some, I don't know, bottle gallon on the street, this kind of thing. I mean, and then they ask me to be fair. What about us? What do we have? What right do we have to fight for our rights? And I cannot just picking up some people, like random people on the street, and do it my way. We have the immigration, we have the police, we have the institution, and on top of it, we have the government that should wake up, that should be able to sit down with all those people that I mentioned before, the immigration, the police, the institution, and the minister. I'm not even supposed to be there. But I'm there. I'm there in every meeting. I'm there. And the president makes sure that I'm going to be there in the middle to pointing my finger at everybody and to make sure that our voice heard, that the Balinese people voice are heard. And this is not only for the Balinese people. This is for the peacefulness of all of us. And Ibu Janet, she knows that, and she's very frustrated about it also because she's kind of like worried about me, like, oh my God, Nilu, you know, like you fight all the time, you know, like you're fighting with the governor, you're fighting with the minister, you know. You made the minister come to your home and stay like for 6 hours in your house, and all you do is like this, you know. And but I said, one enemy is too many. 1,000 friends is not enough. So if you, all of you, wonderful people that are in front of us, and me and all my Balinese fellow, if we can live happily ever after, supporting each other, loving each other, holding hands, you know, like going into the same direction, the same mission and vision to make Bali a better place for those who will be coming, who are still in the tummy of their mom, you know. Why can't we do that? And my intention is very simple. Bali is my home, as much as Bali is yours too. Thank you.
So, you know, I call this the post-COVID era. I mean, how much of this happened during COVID? You know, did the whole COVID period for you change the way you were, or create this whole thing about being even more focused on Bali and the culture?
We didn't have the thing that we call today the threat as much as we have today. I mean, 10 years ago, I could just sit down easily with people who plan to open a business in Bali, and they will come to us and they will ask me, Nilu, I would like to open up a restaurant. Nilu, I would like to buy a land. Nilu, I would like to renting out my villa. What can I do? And I will direct them to each institution that they have to apply for their license. But today they are getting too many. And today they are no longer thinking about, if I go to another country, what kind of rules that I may have to follow. And then the social media is making it even worse. And during the pandemic, you know, we all got stuck in the island, right? We couldn't get out, and also Bali was closed for so many countries, and at the time I put my concentration on how to open Bali for locals, for Indonesian tourists. So we're concentrating on that one, because there's no way that I will promote Bali to Australia, for example, or to France, or forget about Hong Kong. And at the same time, we were fighting against the COVID. I still remember we used to have this rule that you're not able to wash your hands, and this and that and this and that, and all the restrictions. You're not able to sell your food in place. You have to do it takeaway, or even if you can eat do the in-dining services. You can only take like certain percentage of the guests. And then at the same time, there are some people that actually break the law. You know, I've seen countless of restaurants that are closing down, countless hotels, Legian, Ubud, Karangasem, Buleleng, and the only place that are still alive is Canggu, where I live. So business-wise, I have no problem with COVID. Even if the COVID happened for 10 years, 20 years, Niluhdjelantik has no problem, because I can fly anywhere in the world, bringing our tools, bringing our shoes, and taking care of our customer around the world. This is what we've been doing for 20 years. But again, like I said earlier, Bali is our home as much as your home. So for me, I will preserve, I will protect those who love Bali, who knows that we are together on this, but to those people who broke the law, who decided that Bali is no longer the place that they see as a place of their dream, but maybe the place of like, okay, Bali is cheap, Bali is full of discount, I can get a big villa for 10,000 euro a year at a time, but now it won't cost you more than 100,000 euro a year today. So for those kind of people, I don't hesitate. I don't hesitate to use my hand. I don't hesitate to use every contact that I have on my phone to make sure they learn the lesson. Because you don't need that, right? You don't need people breaking the laws. You don't need to feel worried when you walk on the street, on the pavement, then you see some bunch of guys playing on their phone, no clothes, like 4 of them on the bike, getting drunk and run, on us on the road. We don't need it. We have that a lot in Canggu. We have some kids got killed. So whose fault is that? So today we are saying goodbye to pandemic, kind of. But the struggle is still there. Because now Bali is opening up, it's more busy, we have more tourists, we embrace them, we say welcome back, we miss you, we miss taking you around, we miss you staying in our home, we miss you renting our bike. But the problem is not over, because the person who said, I miss you staying in our homestay, I miss you renting our bike, I miss you eating in my restaurant, now they have a competition. Competition from the people who they call their own client, who saw the opportunity way beyond those local people. We may be able to speak some English, but certainly we won't be able to speak more than 2 or 3. And this kind of opportunity is being seen by the people from the outside. So we didn't want to stop them. We are not trying to say that I cannot compete with you, get out from my country. No. We are just trying to let them know there is a rule to follow. If us as a company, Niluhdjelantik as a company, we obtain all the documentation, all the license we have to apply, all the tax that we have to pay, all the insurance, all the benefit and all the remuneration that we have to pay to our people, then you, as a foreigner who plan to make Bali as your home, the minimum you can do is do the same like us. And I always tell them, for those who love Bali, for those who make Bali as their second home, for those who plan to have, like, Nilu, I'm going to have my final life in Bali. I would like to be retired in Bali. I don't see myself going back to my home in America or in Australia. For them, I told them, welcome home. We'll take care of you the way we can. But for the other, I don't hesitate telling them, Bali is not your home. Bali is a place that gives you home. So that don't get too comfortable. And when you will meet me on the street and you have no license, be very, very careful. Because I'm not going to let you taking this happiness away from the Balinese, taking this happiness away from all the expats and the foreigners who are already in place in Bali and run their business within the law. I will not let you take that from those people. And yeah, it's a never-ending battle, and I really hope the government will make an action. We are now in the process to make the white book of tourism, the do and the don'ts. And the law will be in place very soon. It will be announced starting from the departure country to the arrival country, and I hope it will apply soon. Otherwise, it will create more and more anger from the Balinese people, and it won't bring us anywhere, you know. So this
new documents or tourists or for residents here?
For tourists. For tourists. For expat, the law still apply the same. But this is more for the people who plan to come to Indonesia, so they know. So there's no reason for them to say when they are already in Bali, to tell us, oh, we don't know. We don't know that we cannot climb naked on the holy tree. We don't know that we cannot make porn movie by the top of the Batu mountain. So this I don't know. I don't want to hear it anymore. So we make sure in front of every temple, in front of every holy place, in front of every arrival airport, they already know what they can do, what they cannot do.
So what's your title, or, I mean, you're single-handedly fighting this, so do you have an official title, or obviously immigration listens to you. Is it just because you're Niluhdjelantik, these Rani, and have you made these changes and everybody stops and listens to you until the governor and the immigration, everything you put on social media, they all just, oh yeah, okay, we better just solve that problem because Niluhdjelantik said. So this is just you as an individual, yeah? Because you're in politics, but I mean, this is still just you because you're Balinese and you believe in it. Yeah? This is you as a person who's fighting the system.
There is a saying between the Balinese people, it's kind of like, it's them who says, they say it like this: it is better to report to Nilu other than going to those institutions. Takes long, and probably they didn't have enough faith anymore to those institutions. So it's better to talk to Ibu Nilu because she will listen. It doesn't matter regardless any problem we have. Even if she's not part of the solution, she will just listen and she will put us through the right channel, put us in the communication with the right people. And they call me the servant of Bali. The servant of Bali people. Yeah. The unpaid one.
Volunteer.
The volunteer.
So, speaking of volunteer, so what's your relationship to the governor, Costa?
I highly respect this gentleman. We come from the same regency, which is Buleleng. We even go to the same school, so practically he's my senior. We went to the same school, and he basically hang out with all my cousins, my older cousin. He lives in one of their houses in Bandung, I believe. But he didn't know that those people are my family, because I don't really put my my personal family photo on social media. But everyone knows what I'm doing. So basically, if you would like to know where Nilu is at this time, you will find out in few minutes. And so my relationship became. We had a chance to meet once in one of my classes because I had an invitation to give speech at a time in his office. He was not invited at the time because it was Sunday, and I was there with all the students and also all the student organization, and suddenly they told me that the governor was there. Okay, so I went inside and he was giving speech, opening speech, and I looked at him for about 45 minutes. I tried to fall in love with him. I tried to find maybe I was wrong. I was so hard on him. I was so tough on him. Maybe it was all my mistake. I didn't give him a chance to prove that he actually loved the people, So I sat there. My assistant fell asleep. So I told her, wake up, it's not polite, the governor was talking. Then he was like this. He told me, I don't know, I didn't understand what he was saying. So I looked at him, the more I spend, the more I listen to him, the more I despise him. It was all about me. It was all about what I achieved. It was about you are ungrateful. It was about this and this and this. So when the meeting over, when the meeting was, when his speech was over, and he had to say goodbye, that was my turn to give a speech. He shook everybody's hand, all the high rank army, police, and everyone, but me. He actually managed to jump between two people, and I was there. Okay, that was the only time I was ever very, getting very close to him. But then since then, I understand that to change the island to be the better one, you have to be the change. You cannot really rely on someone who simply decided that they won't listen, So you have to be the change yourself, and then that's why I use all my, if we can call it networking, connection. I use that for 100% the benefit of Bali people. And yes, with the governor, I wish one day we'll make it up for the lost time, because I think 7 years it has been, it has been almost 5 years. He will have to let go of his position in 2 months, 3 months. I think we'll be able to, I hope we will be able to find like a chance, opportunity to sit down like this and for me to let him know and to tell him like what I've been telling him and his people all the time, that I am here not to compete with you. I am here not in competition with anyone in your organization. I'm here to become the messenger of the people. If you take the letter, you decided to read it, using your heart, using your mind, using your common sense, then you listen to us. It doesn't matter how many times you want to become the governor. 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, you will have our absolute vote. And I will be the first person who will come do the campaign for you. But unfortunately, that conversation didn't happen yet. So yeah, he thinks the otherwise of what we are doing today, and for me, he's still the father of our children, right? We have 4.5 million people in Bali. Technically, I don't know, in a way he's the father, right? He's the father, and his wife is the mom of those 4.5 million people. And I wish those 4.5 million people, they will go and call him and he will provide his shoulder to those people rather than coming to me, rather than coming to our home. But that is not what happened today, and yeah, I wish him all the best, Ibu. I wish him all the best, especially with all the controversy decision and yeah, the soccer, the World Cup, the U20 game that has been cancelled, and all those statements that are being how do you call it?
It's having around people, because it's such a great opportunity for Bali, and just kind of lost.
Yeah. I told him not to mix the politics with sports, I mean, we know that politics and sport always getting mixed up. That if we can prevent that from happening, and also the beach games, the Olympic beach games, is also probably is going to be cancelled, because the governor decided to, how do you call it, to refuse Israeli team.
Israel was the G20 and it just seems like it's following orders. Yeah, it's a big tragedy for Bali actually because Bali is still kind of neutral, but they're being kind of governed from a capacity.
I mean, we can pray on the beach at the same time. We will have like 30 or 40 gorgeous, beautiful girls and boys half naked. And we are not trying to take photos, oh my God, sexy lady. No, we are so used to it. We were okay. And even us as a Balinese, we love dressing up like in a beautiful kabaya, going to the temple, and and Bali has been known as one of the most plural, plural island. But to reject a sports team who already working so hard to earn that title, to be able to be part of the competition, while us as a nation, we have to fill the form, we have to apply, and we have to join the selection. And then we get the and then the FIFA organization choose Indonesia as one of the hosts, and then that come along with the Indonesian team get the bonuses, right? Okay, Indonesia, you become the host of World Cup, so Indonesian team got a chance. It's kind of like a golden ticket. You don't have to fight like the rest of the team, and it's just kind of like honor for us. When again we will be able to see our own Indonesian young team play on the level of World Cup. Maybe in the next 100 years, I don't know, in the next 50 years. And yeah, I think he need to, even if he receives some orders from the higher level, you need to be able to stand up and say, even if you are my superior or my, there is a place that I have to fight for. There are 4.5 million people that I have to fight for, Sometimes we have to learn to say no. And, but it's already too late, so we hope for the best. Yeah. But I believe Bali will be okay. We've been through so much. We've been through how do you call it? Going through so many obstacles in life. The bombing, the earthquake, the eruption, the pandemic that made us close our door for almost 3 years, and one not so sympathetic leader is not going to stop us from working, right? We're going to still keep going forward and make Bali a better place for everyone. Yeah, thank you.
So I'm sure you all got questions. So let's open up for Q&A because there's lots to talk about. And then I'm also interested in. For you, because you're so outspoken, are you often challenged or your security, or do you get threats, or keep in mind your questions here. So do people threaten you because of your?
Yeah, one day some people send me kind of like a threat letter that they wanted to burn my mom. Because my mom, she lives above the, we have this shop in Seminyak. If you are familiar with Seminyak, you will see black building at the corner of Seminyak between Oberoi and Provocan. So you will see this Niluhdjelantik shoes. My mom lives upstairs, and during certain time of my life that I was fully supporting one of the person that I believe who will do good things to our country. I got quite a few of threats, Well, that person now is becoming the president for the second time around. So I got this kind of threats, like the threats of they plan to kidnap my daughter, the threats of like putting me in jail, and they actually make the actual report to the police, and here I am, still here in front of you. No lawyer, no advocate. I go all the way to the police station with my big smile and my phone, and I will say, "Hi kesayangan, welcome to Polda Bali. Hi kesayangan, welcome to Polres Gianyar." And the police will be like, "Mbok, where is your lawyer? Where is your kuasa hukum?" No, I'm coming with my kid. I'm coming with my boys. And then 7, 6, 8 hours of questioning. And actually enjoying that kind of time because I get to know them, and I can actually tell to the people that the police is actually doing their job. But it is kind of tiring book after a while because there are so many things you can do in 6 hours, right? There are so many things you can do in those times you are being questioned by the police. That's why I have to still take this path of politic way because my mentor, he always told me, he keep on reminding me, as strong as you are, as many as battle you go through to protect your people, if you are not inside, you will always find a wall. You will always find people who wants to put you in jail, who wants to kill your family, who wants to kidnap your daughter. And you don't have any protection. So instead of those people looking at me as their partner, as their best friend, as their path for them to be who they are, they saw me as a competition. So I said, okay, then let's do it. Then let's do that competition. Because at the end of the day, financially, if I tell you that I need a glass of water to drink or a cup of latte that I would like to have, I can have my lifetime latte stock, my lifetime water stock from Ibu Janet. Every time I will come here, I sit down at the corner, I will make presentation, I will promote Indus, I will promote all the festivals that she created, and I promise you, I will have my bottle of water and my 1 glass of latte for the rest of my life. Isn't it, Ibu? So yeah, that kind of threat, like my best friend used to tell me, your idealism and your stupidity, the limit between both of them are very thin. You think you are a cat that has 9 lives. You are not. Why don't you try just to leave everything behind, become Niluhdjelantik, who can go all the way to the White House, meeting the presidents, meeting the prince, having all those Hollywood actresses on your feet. Why don't you just do it? Keep on doing what you love, creating beautiful shoes. And I told those people, you are my best friend. We grew up together. But at some point, we have the life path that we have to take. So the life path that I'm taking today is to make sure that you and the rest of Bali people can have your relaxing time, taking your selfie by the beach, having sunset with your children, without having to worry that your wife will lose a job, your children will not be able to school. That is my duty, and I'm not getting paid for that. Not a single cent. Not a one tiny rice that going inside my mouth that I'm going to be paid by the people. So this is my promises, and we live only once, right? We all have a choices in our life. So like you see, we run a business for 20 years. We were in like 20, 30 countries. Our shoes are everywhere. We have from Julia Robert to Giselle Bundchen to the King of Thailand as our client. And I'm still here, wearing my flip-flops. And driving all the way from Tabanan, from Mongui to the police station, sit down with them for hours, and then, spending some time with the victim. And then I let Ibu know, I'm going to be late, Ibu. And even sometimes all those hiring people, they were surprised because they opened the door on the left side. It was actually for me. And you will have my boy, L. He will take that door and he will sit down. And those hiring people will be like, who's driving? My mom. So yeah, this is what I do for love because it's simply becoming the energy for me, I mean, it's, some people maybe see it as a, how do you call it, can be quite tiring, right? To drive like hundreds of kilometers to go from one village to another village and to speak endlessly about, about the love you can do for the island, but all those threats, it's gone, when I see like Bali people approaching me, Bali people or some elderly expat in Nusa Lembongan, in the middle of houses that I don't know that I'm going to meet these people, and you will see the tears on their eyes, and they will hold me and they will introduce me to their husband. They were like, darling, this is our heroes. Thanks to her. And those kind of like, those kind of welcome, warm greetings that keep me alive, make me strong. And it comes both ways, from the Balinese, from the Indonesian, and also from the foreigners themselves. And I will not stop until I have to stop.
Are there any questions out there? Yes. Yep.
Hello. Okay. Alright. So good evening. My name is Icha, and my question is a two-parter, if that's okay. So I'm currently working for an NGO that works in the protecting the environment, especially conserving bamboo forests. So my first question for you, so how big is the impact of writing or journalism when it comes to becoming like a change maker? So I want to know, because I want to compare between writing or journalism versus social media, and what are the impacts and how different would be if we're comparing those two platforms. And for number two, my biggest concern right now is to talk about some regulatory bodies that might hinder the intention of us protecting Bali in a way. And how do you bypass those regulatory bodies who are seeking for personal interests? So yes, thank you so much.
Social media and journalism, I mean, they are the same but different. I love writing. I write a lot since I was a kid, and I mean, not in the professional way, but I love, telling stories in my diary books, and rather than facing like some people they do some like kind of blog, like a podcast or something like that. I feel more comfortable writing. And for people who write, or for people who read my writing, it is the same feeling as when they watch something, It gives them the emotion, it makes them angry, it makes them sad, it makes them upset. And Maybe it is not for everybody because people tend to see only the headlines or the title. But I decided to do it in writing, sometimes maybe with video, but very rare. But then those writing becoming the sources for the media. Because the next day the media will be like, what Nilu is writing today? And they will be calling me, sending me message, can we take your writing into our media? Because today we are facing the, how do you call it? I mean, we don't read newspaper anymore, not as we used to be. If you read the New York Post, for example, you will not get any copy in front of your house. You will have to subscribe and pay a certain amount every month. And people tend to read more on social media. That's why all this online media, they are flourishing. And all this traditional media, they have to keep up with it. And I believe the two have to be kept in a way that you need to be able to speak up your mind through your social media, but you need to be able to present the fact. Yes, to balance it. You don't say just the things you want to say because somebody is saying it, I heard from someone, and in Balinese you say kone. Oh, kone keto. How do you know this is for a fact this flower is yellow? Because some people say yellow. You cannot say that. When you write, you have to write based on a fact, and I do that. I do always cross-check. When people came, we receive hundreds of messages every day, reporting every kind of problems, from bad debt to domestic violence, from burglary to any kind of problems. I always do my own fact checking before I decided to say yes, I'm going to proceed with this matter. And so the media, for the mainstream media, it is not late, but they will need to keep up because everybody can have their own media, right? We all are here, maybe we are like 40 people. We can have 40 media today, and it can go viral in 20 seconds. It can make a company, it can break a company in 1 second. While 20 years ago, you have to write a letter to be read by the editor, and maybe to be published or maybe not, But today, in 1 second, you can break someone, you can make someone, and we have to do it. We have to take this, seriously, not, like for example, if I'm disappointed or if I'm not happy with the services of a company, of a hotel, for example, of a restaurant, I don't go directly with my phone, my camera, putting everybody on social media. I don't do that. You don't want to be the person responsible of hundreds of people losing their job. Maybe sometimes the tea are not too sweet. Maybe sometimes the rice is a little bit salty. But the human has been making it, There is always like communication. This is something that we are missing today because people tend to be judgmental. Sometimes maybe the services are not really good, but sometimes they're just doing it for the sake of doing it, maybe because of the competition. They decided to put some cockroach on the rice. Oh my God, there is a cockroach on my rice, I would like to have a free one. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I have 20,000 followers. Can you give me free shoes? Can you give me free clothing? I will promote you, And they're using the social media to say the things that they don't like, to say the things that they like, and they don't really care. So this is where the real media have to step in, to become the balance. And for the institution, I call them the institution. Yeah. Why I managed to bypass Why I always manage to say the things that they will listen and they cannot refuse. Why I manage to let them know, like for example, guys, there are some bikes got stolen in Canggu. And those institutions, they found a bike, they found a thief in less than 2 hours. Canggu is quite big, seems like Ubud. And they managed to find him in less than 2 hours. In the middle of all the chaos, you know, all the problems, all the scandal, all the court process along the way in Jakarta, with some kind of like a big case and things like that. And we managed to ask, to request, to instruct the police to actually do their job. Because we say the right things. Because we ask them with the right words. Because you just don't give them the instruction and start telling them, you are police, you have to do your job, you are not doing your job, you are just the same like anyone else. No, you don't say that. You never have to say that. The first thing you have to say is, thank you so much for taking care of us. Thank you so much for protecting Bali and its people. Here's the problem. So I will have Polsek Ubud, the chief of Polsek Ubud, calling me in the middle of the night, like asking me question, where is the location of this guy who ran on the young people in Samgang in Ubud? And my husband will be like, the police chief calling you at this time? Are you there, like kind of like ambassador or something? No. And then I will have minister, governor, calling me in the middle of the night, sending me like some letter in the middle of the night, without judging us as the people who complain a lot about them, because we know how to say it the right way. Even a thief doesn't want to be called a thief, right? So I let them know, I let the people know that the institution, the police, the immigration, the government, the minister, they are doing their job. They do their best. I give an example of a house. We call it lumbung padi. Lumbung padi is a lumbung hole where we put our rice after the harvesting time. So in Indonesia, we have a saying, jika ada tikus, when you have a bad rat, you take the rat away, but don't burn the lumbung. So we put everybody in peace, because it is so easy to create anger, so easy to provoke both sides, I can tell to the people, the police is not doing their job. I can tell to the police, the people complain all the time. It's so easy to say that, but I will never ever say that. Because we need to keep them, we need to put everyone in place. If we lost our bra, if we lost our shoes, if we lost something in our home, the first people we call is the police. If we have a problem in our village, if we have a neighbor who shout too much, who sing too much, the first person we call is our Kalian. And they are all human, they are not perfect. Same as we are. So when they make mistake, they make mistake. But the mistake that we still can tolerate, the mistake that has nothing to do with corruption, the mistake that has nothing to do with stealing other people's rights. This kind of mistake I don't tolerate. I don't tolerate. Yesterday we have a foreigner went to a shop in Canggu and she stole dress. She stole some dresses. She's a lawyer. A young lawyer, famous, one of the top bloggers in her country. And from the country that we have refused a while ago for the World Cup. You know what I mean? So I have these girls panicking, scared, because the dress costs 3.5 million. So it has to be taken from their pocket, it has to be taken from their salary. And you know how much Balinese people make every month. So the first person they report to is us. In less than 12 hours, we find out, we found who she is, and when she's going to fly. Crying, calling, begging, and actually managed to instruct me to go to her place, which is, I was like, I have to drive another 60 kilometers today. I'm not going to any one place. I have to go to Ubud. So you will come to our home, meet the manager, bring the money, be responsible of what you're doing. You know what I mean? I can just easily expose her face today. It's going to become headline news nationally. You know, when we're talking about that one certain country, right? The most controversial country in the world. But like I said, we talk about fairness. And if the shop decided to say, okay, what we do, maybe we're going to fill a report to the police. If there is decision, if there is solution, we can find to resolve this problem. Let's do it in the peaceful way. But I'm against all this kind of dishonesty, you know, like even stealing this, what we consider a crime. If you want to put it on your ear, just ask, you know what I mean? So we're going to do that meeting tonight. So I will drive home, back to Canggu. And she'll be waiting in our home with the manager to solve the problem. So, you know what I mean? So, there is a police, there is immigration, and at the same time, there are people that we are also people, you know. You know, in Indonesia, sometimes law are not very fair. You have some old woman stealing one banana and she gets 2 years in jail. You have one lady trying to take the how do you call it, the glue from the pohon karet. She got like 1.5 years in jail. It's so unfair, right? So when someone is trying to seduce me, telling me that, you know, no, that's not working that way. Solve the problem first. We talk about law later. And I cannot be bribed. I cannot be bought. And that's why the police, they respect me. That's why the immigration respect me. Because in a way, there are some certain people, we call it oknum, right? Oknum. Like doing their, you know, using their position for their own, how do you call it, personal gain, personal, you know. There are some, probably some of them, but I focus on the good one. Because we still live in the country that you know, that we cannot really do like the hukum rimba, you know, like the jungle law, you know, and this is the decision that I made, and this is the only way to put them in place, to let them know that we are here, we know what you're doing, this is your duty, we respect you, but at the same time, do not sleep, you know. Because if you're taking 1 rupiah bribe or 10 rupiah bribe, somebody will make me a phone call, and I will not take that lightly. Not from the foreigners, not from Indonesians. If it is supposed to be free, it's free. If foreigners telling me, Nilu, somebody ask you to pay, so gratis. You know what I mean? So we focus on the good one, the bad one, let the police, the KPK, the jail taking care of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know? Yeah, find the good egg, you know? The 100 eggs in the basket. The 5 one, just throw them away. We focus on the 95. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, any more questions before we finish up? Oh, over there, Rita. Selamat malam.
Ibu, tonight's been very great. It's wonderful to be able to see you in person, not to meet you, but to be able to see you in person. But I think it's still a very privileged situation. I want to tell a very short story, and then I have a question after that. During the pandemic, we were helping out in our local village, just here, in order to deliver some food, in order to do some volunteering and various other things. We hoped we weren't breaking the law at that time because we're actually not allowed to volunteer, but we did. We were asked by our head of village at one stage if we could do something about the tourists who were not wearing masks. We were scared of them, they were scared of them, we couldn't do anything. But what I would like to ask is, because we're actually all quite privileged to be here tonight, if there could be something along these lines that are for local people, to empower them some more. What was happening when they were asking us if we could do something about the people who weren't wearing masks was because they felt disempowered and they thought we had more power. I'd like to see that change so they felt more empowered. I think your voice, speaking to local people on the ground, I know they're in contact with you through social media, but it's a different thing when they could come here or somewhere else and actually see you speak. Could something like that happen? Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu. May I have your name again?
Anita.
Anita. Well, I actually spend a lot of time in the village, and you don't really see it on social media because my husband and our daughter thinks we were going on a holiday. So holiday, basically we went to Ubud, or we went to Ahmed, or we went to Nusa or Buleleng. We check into some nice hotels, checking out some nice restaurants, and then I'm gone for the day. And they will be left with a paddle board and then going to the beach, and that is most of the time when I spend my time having tens of people are queuing, waiting for me to come to see them, and the condition between Bali people, let's say Ubudian, and people in Karangasem, and people in certain and in some small villages in Buleleng are so different. And even if you take 35 minutes boat to Nusa Lembongan and compare them with the Nusa Penida, Nusa Ceningan, they are different. You know, character-wise, they are different. Like the Nusa people, they are more like the Corsican people. You know, they are friends, but they are not friends, right? Is there any Corsican here? Correct me if I'm wrong. Give me a kiss. I spent a lot of time in Corso. They are more hot-blooded, you know, like very proud, like the Basque, Basque people in near Spain, the border of Spain and France, and we are actually a very tiny island, Ibu. 4.5 million people. I mean, compared to Central Java, 50 million people. West Java, another 48 million people. East Java, another 38 million people. With Jakarta, 150 million people, 150 million stress. We are 4.5 million. Lots of us have very good education. Lots of us